HeyUGuys.
What is that?
Yes.
Well, the UK's #1 movie website, of course.
#1 movie site.
In the UK, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
It's a line from the Goonies, by the way.
The Goonies. I don't even know what the Goonies are.
I don't know what to do.
I hadn't seen it until I started working.
Yeah.
So I'm going to begin just by asking, I mean, you guys look like you're having so much fun in making this movie, which really kind of emanates off the screen. I was wondering, no, you're really good actors. I'm just wondering about how important that is, because I mean, we put so much emphasis on acting, the method and the craft, but I think sometimes we just forget about a vital thing, which is just enjoying yourselves.
Yes, but you know that you say emphasis on the method and the craft. I would say categorically, and I'm sorry to speak for my associate here, we are so not method actors. We are absolutely the opposite, aren't we, of method actors? But the craft is a different thing.
Yes.
The craft and if you enjoy your craft and you're with someone else who enjoys their craft, then yes, it's fun. It's definitely a good experience. And
my motive for working when I started out as a professional actor and as I continue now is to get better at the job. That's #1. But I began acting professionally in a company that stayed together for a year and did a lot of plays together. So the idea of being some sort of solo artist who arrives rather grandly, no, it's always the people you're working with, and of course fun is a big part of that. Because if you have fun, then you can work together as well as laugh together. And of course, you have to add Bill Condon into the mix because
and Russell Tovey,
yes,
and Jim.
But Bill is running the party that we're all at.
Because I mean, it felt quite rare watching a movie with sort of roles for experienced actors where it wasn't about age. It wasn't even like a part of this. Did it feel quite, when you got the script and reading it, did it feel like quite a unique screenplay in that regard?
Well, it reminded me of films I've enjoyed in the past. You know, when I go on a long journey, I always go to pick up a thriller at the bookshop. And this is the cinematic equivalent of that. It's the sort of movie I would like run to see. So that's what attracted me to it. No, everything was right about this.
Yes, it was.
There was no worries in any department, in the cast, where we were filming. We were living at home, weren't we, in London for the most part?
Yeah, that's a treat, because we rarely are. Yeah. You know, when you're working, you're rarely at home. So
and then a jolly good story, and not too long. So you can be on the edge of your seat without falling off it.
Yeah. I was a bit maybe afraid to travel on the London Underground. I have to say. Because I mean, I've reading it's your first film together, which was quite sort of surprising. But it just made me think, because I mean, you guys have sort of worked with sort of the best of the best. But is there anyone still working today that you've not worked with that you'd still love to collaborate with one day?
Oh, so many.
Al Pacino.
Oh,
Dustin Hoffman.
I've worked with Al Pacino.
I know. Well, you get
and
that.
it is a great experience. I have to say, it's a great actor's experience.
Yeah.
Because he so loves acting and actors.
Yeah.
And he's so generous.
Yeah.
And you and he would get on like a house on fire.
Yes. It's the trouble is you don't often work with people of your own age. You might with men and women, but two men, to find a movie that has two equally good parts for people of the same age. It's unusual.
I wouldn't mind working with Ruth Wilson because I think she's brilliant.
She's lovely, isn't she? I've worked with her.
Oh, you have? Oh, have you? I've never worked with her. And I just think she's such a brilliant actress.
She is. Yeah. She is.
But just very quickly before I go, I mean, you mentioned obviously about working with people of your own age, and obviously tying that in with Al Pacino as well. I mean, Scorsese's done The Irishman, where obviously they've sort of computer sort of generation, where they've made them look younger and stuff. Would you be open to that if there was a role where you could have yourself?
Of course, absolutely. It's very interesting that now digitally you can youthify people, whereas before you used to have to age them up with, you know, prosthetics and makeup and so forth. Sometimes very successfully, sometimes disastrously unsuccessfully. But you know, any tools that are at our hands to be able to expand the stories that we can tell is fantastic.
Pat Stewart and I, in one of the X-Men movies, were youngified with a rather crude version of the modern method, and we were made to look 20 or 30 years younger. looked ridiculous, I thought. The trouble is, it's like having a facelift.
It's getting better, though.
It's like having a facelift.
Yes.
Your face can look 30, but there's a 70-year-old body.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still make a noise when you
And
get
so
up.
you have to act young.
Yes.
The digitalisation.
No, the face is not going to
do
do it all. And I think also, still, it slightly takes the expression away. And it's very weird, the subtlety of expression on film, the tiniest twitch of an eyebrow or a flick of an eyelid or the tiniest things can tell really tell the story. So I find when on those youthified faces, although they look great, that there's a weird sort of thing of expression that disappears.
Yes.
But anyway, it'll get better and better, I'm sure.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, bye.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank
to see you,
you.
Stefan.
Nice to see
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, you guys!